So when people say things like just post everywhere, what they're really saying is ignore yourself, ignore your brain, and like just go ahead and burn out even faster. Hey squirrels, welcome to ADHD, where ADHD isn't some clinical diagnosis, it's just life. I'm AV, your always honest tour guide through this beautiful mess. Over here, we're not about fixing yourself. We're about figuring out how to actually enjoy your life as you are. So grab a snack and let's go. All right, y'all, it's time. It is time to jump in and to start solving some stuff because we need some money up in here. It is the end of the year. 2026 is coming. It is nipping at our heels. It might even already be here. And we need some money in the bank, right? Okay, so let's just jump in. Hello, squirrels. Sorry to attack you like that from the top. Welcome. Land softly. Did you land? Cool. Today, we are breaking down a system that is going to save every neurodivergent creator from burnout, from overwhelm, and honestly, from the delusion that you need to be posting everywhere all the time, all at once to grow your business. Okay? Because if you're anything like me, you hate that. I am allergic to social media. I'm allergic to creating content. And if you're here, you probably consume my content. So you would never know. Around the C in products, C is content. We are going to build a system that is designed to support us. So here we go. This is the system that takes one idea and turns it into 12 pieces of content without forcing your brain into 12 different gear shifts. So let's get into it. First of all, this is a piece of advice that I got years ago. But the advice that I got was take a piece of content and break it down. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like that feels like enough information, but it's not enough information because I don't know what you're talking about. And every piece of content that I see is always a skit or a something or planned or different outfits or like really edited and I don't know how to do any of that stuff and I don't want to do any of that stuff and I don't feel like doing any of that stuff and like it's really overwhelming and I don't know what to do. Okay? Why do neurodivergent creators burn out trying to post everywhere? There is this pressure online to be omnipresent, right? Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast, newsletter, email marketing, every platform wants a piece of you, meaning that every platform wants a piece of your executive functioning. And the neurodivergent brain does not thrive under constant multi-platform context switching. What looks like consistency problems is actually, first of all, just sheer overwhelm from the amount that you need to do, but also dopamine depletion, decision fatigue, sensory overload, and a complete and total disregard for how your creativity works. Because we don't create linearly, probably, right? If you were a consistent human, you wouldn't be here. We create in bursts and clusters and hyperfocus windows and energy waves. So when people say things like just post everywhere, what they're really saying is ignore yourself, ignore your brain, and like just go ahead and burn out even faster. And we're literally not doing that anymore. Once again, we have a piece of traditional advice that while it is foundationally sound, it doesn't actually properly apply to your life. Okay? Just post everywhere. Yeah, totally. But this is not like a throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks situation when you have finite capacity for how long you're going to be posting and how long you're going to be doing this. Successful content creators post consistently for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 years before they have tremendous traction on some of their stuff. And we need money in the bank. So we can't be wasting all of our energy on something that by definition is going to take time. What do? So what we do is we apply the Content Cascade Model. The Content Cascade Model has 4 things: the myth, the method, the mistake, and a mini win. Okay? Instead of trying to post 12 different ideas, we take one concept and we look at it through 4 different angles. So the 4 different angles are the myth, the method, the mistake, and the mini win. The myth is what people get wrong about this topic, right? So right? Like 5 common myths about virtual assistants. And then you talk about the things that people normally think. Everyone is a scammer. Everyone is going to steal your personal information. Virtual assistants are unskilled or underskilled. These are things that people think about virtual assistants, and they're wrong. This applies to whatever industry you work in. There are myths, there are things that you know about that people get wrong about the topic. These are really engaging types of content. The second is the method, your unique process, your framework, your approach, right? Again, within your own industry, what is the method? What's the mistake, the common error that people make? And then what is a mini win, a small actionable tip that gives them a quick result? Okay, so there's 4 angles per idea, and then we multiply that by 3 formats. You make a video, you make a carousel or some sort of graphic, and you make an email for each one of them, okay? So the myth has a video, a carousel, or a graphic and an email. The method has a video, a graphic, and an email. The mistake has a video, a graphic, and an email. And the mini win has a video, a graphic, and an email. That's 4 angles, 3 formats. It's 12 pieces of content from one idea. It's not 12 ideas. It's not 12 brainstorming sessions. It's not 12 new executive functioning tasks. It's 1. And that's our version of creative efficiency. So let's take an example of what that might look like. No, you know what? We're going to deal with an example later because there's a bunch of stuff. Okay? The first, just bear with me because I know we're going through a lot and I know that this is in podcast format, so sometimes it's a little bit hard to follow. But the first thing that we're focusing on is, how do I create something from nothing? And then once I'm creating something from nothing, how do I create the most something that I can from the least nothing that I have? Make sense? We want the most. We want as much as possible from as little as possible, as much output as possible from as little input as possible. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to borrow from the focus structure, and we're going to borrow from the time rhythm. So focus, just to remind you, this is one of my core models, is filtering out chaos using structure. We're going to use a visual board, a digital board or a physical board, but visual, to see the cascade as a whole, to see the idea as a whole. This is going to reduce overwhelm because your brain isn't guessing what the plan is, it's looking at what the plan is. If you think about it like a puzzle, you can finish the puzzle faster when the pieces are laid out in front of you, right? You can do a puzzle by picking one piece out at a time and seeing where it goes. But you can do a puzzle faster by separating it into edge pieces and middle pieces and having the picture next to you so you can follow some sort of structure. And then the time model, right, is turning intention into meaningful execution. This is where the batching comes in. We control our time by taking the structure and then batching it into how we are going to be working on it. We don't create all 12 pieces of content in one sitting. We match the tasks to the energy, right? There are 3 types of content that we're creating for each one of the ideas: a video, a graphic, and something in writing, an email or a newsletter. During high energy time, that's when we're recording the videos. During our medium energy time, that's when we're writing the captions or the emails or the newsletter or whatever. During the low energy time, that's when we're formatting the graphics or the carousels. That's when we're uploading content. We take what we need to do, we break it down into what it actually looks like. We batch those tasks into energy-specific windows to protect our productivity. This is energy-safe productivity because you're not forcing a high-intensity task on a low-energy day. You're going to do things the way that they flow best for you. Okay, so I promised an example. I even lost myself. Okay, so how does one idea become a 12-piece content month with built-in rest days? Okay. So here's the monthly workflow. You have one idea for the month. For example, my idea for this month is energy safe delivery. How do we deliver on our products in a way that's going to protect your energy? Step 2 is apply the 4 angles. The myth about energy safe delivery, the method that I teach about energy safe delivery, the mistakes that people make, and the mini win that they can implement today or the story that I can tell. what that might look like if you've been following along the podcast. The myth about energy safe delivery, that's where we start every single episode. What do people think about energy? What do people think about the way they need to deliver on their products? What are the things that people currently think that doesn't work for you right now? The method that I teach. So in this podcast alone, we went through the 12-piece system, the Content Cascade Model. We reviewed focus and we reviewed time. That's the method that I teach for energy safe delivery. The mistakes people make. These are the common mistakes that people make, and this is how we fix them, or this is how we address them. And then these are the mini wins you can implement today. That's the homework that I give you at the end of these podcast episodes. You see all 4 elements in each one of these episodes and in all of our content across the board. So now that we have the 4 angles, we apply the 3 formats: a short video, a carousel or a visual post, some sort of graphic, and an email or a newsletter. That will give you 12 pieces. The short videos, this is the long form of the podcast recording that I'm doing. It gets cut down into short videos. Then we do carousels and graphics that support that, and email or something written that supports that. That gives you your 12 pieces. Step 4, add in rest days. We do not post daily. Neurodivergent systems need buffer room for your life, for your executive dysfunction, for unforeseen chaos, for recovery, for interest fluctuations, for I just don't freaking feel like it today, for I'm working on another project right now and I'm hyper focusing on that. 12 pieces of content spread across a month means you're posting probably 3 times a week. And that is sustainable and sufficient. You are building presence without sacrificing your energy. Sacrificing your energy is simply never, ever going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. You are your most valuable resource, and we need to protect that. So, ready? Here's the full example of the content cascade. We talked about energy safe delivery. That was our example that we took. Let's map it out. The first angle is the myth. The myth, for example, in energy safe delivery might be being consistent means delivering at the same intensity every day. Okay, that's the myth. That's the angle of the myth that I am taking. The idea, energy safe delivery. The myth, being consistent means delivering at the same intensity every day. Now, I have a video explaining why this is false, a carousel or a graphic breaking down inconsistent energy patterns, and an email or a story talking about my personal lived experience about why being consistent does not mean delivering at the same intensity every day. Angle 2, the method. What is my model for energy safe delivery? I'm going to teach that model for energy safe delivery. I can do a video, the framework, in 90 seconds. I can do a carousel or a visual, just the visual steps. What is the method? And an email for a deeper dive into how I discovered the method. When I was sitting on my bed one day and I was really frustrated by the blah, 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 literally the story behind it. Angle 3, the mistake. The mistake that we're going to take here for energy safe delivery is people try to mask their energy levels and burn out. This is a common mistake that people make. So I'm going to make a video calling out the behavior. I'm going to make a carousel that are signs you're masking your energy, right? And then I'm going to write an email or a newsletter, how to shift into energy matched work modes. You see how much content this is already? That's 9 pieces of content so far, but it's 9 pieces of incredibly rich and original content. The 4th angle is the mini win, okay? The mini win for energy safe delivery in our example. I'm going to say a simple adjustment. Choose the task based on the energy available, not the energy required, okay? And now I do 3 pieces of content. The video, 3 ways to do this today. Carousel, energy charts with task categories or some sort of graphic. And then an email or some sort of text, emotional relief that comes from matching your intensity to capacity. That's a 12 piece of content month built from one idea with super, super rich content. Doesn't that feel doable though? When you break it down like that, doesn't that feel doable? Because honestly, don't 1,000 ideas go through your mind at any given day? Just pick one of them and build your whole month. 4 angles, 3 pieces of content per, 12 pieces of content a month, spaced out 3 times a week. Doable? I think so. Okay, I mean, that's it, honestly. Stop trying to outpost the algorithm. It's enough. And also, honestly, As a neurodivergent justice seeker, there's something that's really irksome about like posting just because the algorithm told me that I needed to post. Like, I don't know, I'm not doing that. I want to post valuable content that's going to add something to somebody's life, um, and also bring in business eventually. But for me, at least, I needed to build a system that actually worked with my brain. One idea, 12 pieces of content, and my nervous system is intact. And if you want to add in one more delicious step to that, if you have a team, they literally take the ideas from the things that I talk about anyways, and then they create all the content based on this methodology. If you really want the cheat code. So, y'all know I'm not going to leave you without any resources. Grab the offer Spark Sprint, page 10. Page 10 is where you want to start if you're looking to map the content cascade, and get it mapped. Get your first cascade mapped before the dopamine disappears, before you lose your excitement, and start capitalizing on your natural rhythms instead of beating yourself up. In the meantime, I cannot wait to see the content that you come up with. Please show me. Please share with me. Please talk to me. Please reach out to me. I want to hear about your ideas. I want to hear your stories, and let me know if this works for you, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Like, I've been told to create content based on long form content forever, but nobody ever broke it down for me like this. This is repeatable right now, and you deserve a regulated nervous system. Hey, I'm proud of you guys. You're doing awesome. Go drink some water and clean out your sink because it's starting to smell a little bit stanky. I'll see you next time. Bye, squirrels.